I'm Britt Abutalib, whowhatwear.com's beauty director, and I'm here with Aerin Lauder to chat about her debut cosmetics collection, which you can see sitting in front of us. And I'm just gonna hop right into it. So as many of you probably know, Aerin is Estee Lauder's granddaughter, and you've been working in the company for years, but you've just now launched your own collection. Tell me about why. Why now?
Now is the perfect time to launch it. I have been in the beauty industry for many, many years. I always joke that I've been in it for 42 years, having Estee be my grandmother, but I was really working in the company for about 20. I was creative director for 10 years of Estee Lauder, and when I was creative director, I was constantly challenged with how do you think outside the box? How do you maintain the heritage of the brand by at the same time bringing in new consumers? And people were always asking me what's inside my makeup bag. So I decided to create a capsule collection of what's in my makeup bag and the essentials that I can't live without.
And it actually, though it will be merchandised next to the Estee Lauder collection on counters, it only has your name on it. Can you tell me a little bit about why you left Lauder out of it?
Well, there were many reasons why I did. Well, I was talking to many friends when I was starting to conceptualize this idea, and everyone loved my first name. My mother made it up. It was named after her father, who was Aerin, and she kept the A and therefore made it A-E-R-I-N. We focus grouped it, and people loved how iconic it was. It was strong. It looked great on the packaging, so it was just meant to be.
It does look awesome on the packaging. Speaking of, that's kind of the first thing you notice is that the packaging is really, really beautiful. It's sleek. Tell me a little bit about the process there, how that came to be.
Well, the process was kind of very exciting because as creative director, I worked on all these different parts of a product, but when you have your name on it, you took such ownership and such pride in every little detail.
Right.
And the packaging, as you can see, is gold, which is very much a heritage color of the Estee Lauder brand and of me and my history, and it's very modern and feminine, and there really isn't anything quite like that out in the marketplace. When I walked the cosmetic floor for many, many years, I saw that there was modern and there was feminine, but the combination of the two is kind of unique, so there was a great opportunity to kind of capture that consumer and that point of view.
And also the print, which you can see on the cosmetic bags as well as the lotion, the hand and body cream. Tell me about that. Where did that come from?
Well, that's an old print that we found at an antique shop.
Oh, okay.
And we loved the concept of a batik. We thought it was timeless and feminine and at the same time very lifestyle. So we therefore colored it into our brand beauty color. And even the compacts are gold dipped linen. So it goes into that whole idea of texture and almost like a jewelry type of feel. It feels very special, very unique, and very luxurious.
And the pouches, speaking of jewelry.
I love the pouches. The pouches are a thing that I thought was really clever because everyone has jewelry now and everyone has watches and rings and great things that you want to store your products in. And I think to have a pouch come with your compact, it's great because you can use it for your compact or for your jewelry or for anything.
Awesome. And being Estee's granddaughter, I'm sure you have a million makeup memories, but tell me about one of your first.
Well, Estee was an amazing, amazing woman. I mean, people always ask me questions about her as a grandmother, and she was really warm, she was kind, she was loving, and she did love beauty. I mean, one of my earliest memories is probably watching her put her makeup on. She always used to have a mirrored makeup table in all of her homes. That's one of the reasons why I have a conference room table that's mirrored. And she would sit there and apply makeup a lot with her hands, put her eyeshadow on. She had this amazing ability to put lipstick on without even looking in a mirror. And I would just watch her for hours doing that. She really loved the whole experience of makeup.
Did she give you makeup to play with as a little girl, or
she
was
did.
that hands off?
My sister and I have these wonderful stories of her coming home from the office with lipstick testers and blockbusters, and
so fun.
It was really fun. I mean, she always loved for us to play with makeup at a very, very young age. She would have drawers in her makeup table of eyeshadows and lipsticks and creams, and she would just let us play.
So you didn't have that typical teenage struggle of like, please can I wear mascara out of the house, or can I wear lipstick? It was just
Well, she
fun.
always talked about the idea of understated makeup. You know, she always, if you notice pictures of her, she either had a dramatic lip or a dramatic eye, not both. And I think she really taught me my first sense of style, whether it's fashion or makeup.
Speaking of, a dramatic lip or dramatic eye, what's your signature beauty look, would you say?
I have a very kind of no makeup look.
Right.
I've been known to people always say, does she have a lot of makeup on? And I always do wear makeup. I've been wearing makeup since I was probably in high school. The beginning of college was when I first started wearing foundation. And I wear foundation every day and a bronzer, mascara, eyeliner, but neutral colors, so therefore it doesn't look overly made up.
Okay. Speaking of neutral, you launched with 7 essentials, is that correct?
Yep.
So you really, going back to people asking you what's in your makeup bag, what can't you live without, you sort of narrowed it down to what you think a woman needs to start her day or to get through her day. Tell me about the essentials.
Well, the Essentials collection is very natural, very effortless, and it's all very simplified and very edited. We have a compact foundation, which is great because you can add to it throughout the day. You can layer it to create a concealer type of
How
effect.
do you put that on? Do you
Well,
use
it comes
this
with a
one?
brush,
Oh, great.
so therefore it's very easy to apply. We
Okay.
have a bronzer, which comes in a few different shades, and I love bronzer. That's the one thing. Michael Kors and I always laugh about that whole sun-kissed. I think we're the only two people that love to sit in the sun still, but the idea of that sun-kissed look, I think, is really makes any skin type look just has a glow to it. A lip and cheek color, which is beautiful. It's like a very universal color, which is great for just like a touch of pickup. A brush collection, which I think is really important to any sort of application process. A hand and body cream, which is in that pretty tube, which smells like rose and it's very subtle, so you can therefore wear your fragrance and it won't fight it, but it has a wonderful kind of luxurious feminine.
How did you, I mean, I know scent plays such a huge role in everything Estee Lauder does and for your collection as well. Tell me about the rose scent there.
Well, they're all the products have a rose kind of floral infusion in them, and that's something that's always been a part of me and my love of beautiful things. I love flowers, and one of my earliest memories of scent is biking in the country and passing honeysuckle and just loving the way it smells. So they all have this flower infusion, even the bronzer.
Okay.
So it's really, the whole experience of this beauty line is very feminine and very special. And then the lip conditioner, which is probably my favorite product in the collection, and that is just this rose-scented lip conditioner that has a touch of color, comes in a pretty pink tube, and it's just really easy to wear. And I now have started putting one in every handbag because I can't live without it. So it's fun.
And then for fall, for your debut, you're starting with what you call weekend and weekdays. Tell us about that.
Well, color collections is an interesting thing because it's something that Estee actually created. One of her first color collections was called the Evening Collection.
Okay.
And it really is about whether it's a trend in fashion, and our line is very much trend in fashion and trend in lifestyle. So weekend, weekday, women wear different makeup during the weekend than they do the weekday. They might wear makeup 7 days a week, but you might be a bit more dramatic during the week and a bit more subtle on the weekend. So the palettes that we're doing for fall is weekend, weekday. So the weekday one is more dramatic, a bit more of like a rose lip color, and the weekend one, which is closer to you, is a bit more neutral. And they have a highlighter in them, a cheek color, and an eyeshadow duo. So it's all you kind of need.
Color palettes were sort of
She
everything
actually,
in one?
yeah, she loved these wonderful pale pinks and corals. She
Okay.
was blonde and had light eyes, so she loved this whole, all those pretty colors.
What do you change about your look on the weekend?
I do, I mean, I wear foundation 7 days a
Okay.
week, and I do wear bronzer 7 days a week, but regarding the lip color and the cheek color, I do like a more natural color on the weekends. I'm usually in jeans, I'm with my kids, I'm at the baseball field, so I don't necessarily wear as much dramatic color.
Okay, great. And you talked a little bit about how you wear certain things every day, foundation you always wear, but tell me about the application process. How do you apply your makeup? Do you put bronzer everywhere? Are there sort of
I mean, my
points?
makeup process is very fast. I don't have that
Okay.
much time, and that's one of the reasons why I love this edited collection for the essentials. I put foundation on. First, I wash my face. Then I put advanced night repair on, which I am absolutely passionate about. Then I put the compact foundation.
Okay.
Bronzer just on my cheekbones.
Okay.
A little bit of the lip and cheek kind of color, just to get a little bit of like tone. And depending on if I want to wear a lipstick or a lip gloss, I'll just put that on, and then a coat of black mascara. So it's pretty quick.
Okay, great. And then lastly, I know that the brand is set to expand beyond makeup. It's a lifestyle brand, as you call it. Tell me a little bit about where that's going next and where you see it expanding.
Well, beauty's always been my heritage, but accessories and home are definitely passions of mine. And when I focus grouped the name, I also focus grouped the concept of going beyond beauty.
Okay.
And people in the US and China, consumers, loved the idea of going beyond beauty. They love the idea of beauty bags, beauty essentials, home accessories, even going into accessories such as shoes, sunglasses, and jewelry. So over the next year and a half, you're going to be seeing these different categories. Beauty's coming out now as we speak. I'm going to Saks Fifth Avenue tonight. And at Holiday, we're doing scented candles and giftables, like beautiful objects for the home. And then spring, the whole home collection will be launched, which will be other categories such as fabric and lighting and furniture.
So where are you sourcing inspiration from that? I mean, I know a lot of this
From
is
everywhere. A lot of it comes from my life, film, art, cities, travel, and a lot of it really is from Estee and my family.
Okay. As far as traveling, did you go anywhere fun this summer?
I went to Morocco, which I thought was amazing.
Very
The
inspirational.
light, the colors, the sensibility there was amazing. We were only there for a few days, but it
Okay.
was such a unique experience. It was great. And the rest of the time I was really in Long Island, which to me is such a source of inspiration because we go out there all year long and it's truly paradise.
Great. Well, we had, before we started our chat, we had our readers write in with some questions for you. So I'm going to go ahead and ask you those. Helene C. says, people must ask you about beauty all the time, but how were you first introduced to fashion? Tell us about those early
Well,
memories.
Esty was the one that really first introduced me to fashion. When I was very young, I went with her to the fashion shows in Paris. We went to Chanel, and I saw Claudia Schiffer come down the runway as a bride. And I just remember it being so luxurious and elegant, and I was fascinated with the whole fashion world. I've always, at a very, very young age, loved it. Esty used to have magazines with all these like red tags, and I would just spend hours going through them. So it's always been a part of my life.
Do you still go to shows?
I still go to shows. I love going to New York Fashion Week. I mean, I love going to Paris and Milan as well, but New York is really very much my home and where my friends are. And I love seeing Michael Kors walk down the runway with a big smile. Prince Schuler. I mean, I just think it's exciting.
Great. Pippa L wants to know, seriously, are you ever messy?
Seriously, I am, yes. I think everyone's messy. I'm not very, very messy. But
it's hard to imagine.
No, I actually am. You can ask my family. There's definitely times when I'm tired and I come home and I throw my jeans on the floor, and I can be messy.
Okay.
My car is kind of messy sometimes.
Okay, yes, so that happens with cars, I've just realized. So you touched on this a little bit as far as the countryside and honeysuckle, but Alex D wants to know, what's your most special memory of scent?
Probably tuberose. I've always, that was the first flower that I really fell in love with, and that's one of the reasons why that was the inspiration for my private collection. I remember smelling it, and I just was like mesmerized. It was so beautiful and sweet and luxurious and special, and if you think about it, tuberose is quite hard to recreate, so it has this wonderful kind of precious quality to it. So I think as a young girl smelling tuberose for the first time, that was one of my first memories.
So maybe we can expect to smell some of that in your debut Aerin fragrance.
You will see, which is fun, soon to come.
Okay. Lainey C wants to know, what's your favorite social media platform?
Well, I love Pinterest, and my children are trying to get me to do Instagram, which I know I have. I've done it once or twice, and I have to get more comfortable with it. But right now, Pinterest, I love. I love going on my Pinterest and updating it, and I love seeing other people's, and I just think it's exciting.
Yeah, it's fun, and if you're into the visuals of it, then Instagram is really, I think.
Yeah, well, I've been doing concept boards since I was probably 19 years old when I first started working in product development at Lauder. So I've loved the idea of Pinterest. I think it's very creative.
And you tumble too, right?
I do. That I love.
I love your Tumblr.
Thank you.
It's very pretty.
Thank you.
Okay, Kim H says, what do you think about when you're updating your wardrobe each season?
Well, I really focus on accessories. I mean, I love fashion. I love knowing what the trends are. But when I really update things for me, it really is about a handbag, a necklace, a pair of shoes, a pair of sunglasses. I go to accessories first.
So what did you buy for fall?
I bought a new Givenchy handbag, which I love. Like, the outside is one color, the inside's lined in this pretty color. It's great for the weekend. I bought some beautiful yellow Lanvin flats, a blazer from them, which I love, a black velvet one, which I think is really fun. And I haven't really gone into the jewelry area yet, but I love all the new amazing bold pieces. I think Lanvin especially has beautiful ones for fall.
And going a little bit backwards to fashion, are there any, I mean, you're friends with a lot of people in the industry and you're surrounded by that and have been since you were really young, but is there anyone in the industry whom you haven't met, who you're...
I've never met Miuccia Prada. I mean, I've never had a conversation with her. I probably met her casually, being introduced to her, but I think she is truly a genius. And I remember going to Prada in Milan when it first came out, and I just think every season she reinvents herself, and it's always new, and you always want something. And I love that it goes across all the categories. It's the sunglasses, it's fragrance, it's accessories, it's fashion. I think she's kind of amazing.
She is. She's incredible. Okay, Paula W wants to know what products you use on your hair, which is perfect. It's humid and raining here. And
it's not so perfect. It's not so perfect. Well, I love Bumble and Bumble, and I love Ojon.
Okay.
I've just gotten hooked onto those products.
Any particular products?
Well, I love the serum, and I love the shampoo and conditioner by both Ojon and Bumble and Bumble. And I like to mix it up. I like to try new things.
Yeah, it's fun with hair products.
It
feels a little less risky than putting something on your face. Okay, and Michelle L wants to know, what's the least glamorous part of your very glamorous job?
Oh God, probably the travel. I mean, I think people think, oh, you get on a plane, you get off, and you have, a couple of hours to yourself. And there's been so many times I've gotten off a plane and run to a meeting and haven't taken a shower, changed my clothes. And I think the traveling. I mean, Morocco was a really intense trip. We shot that Town and Country cover at 10 o'clock at night in the desert. And you know, it was a long, long day. I'd spoken in a panel in the morning, and we had just gone and all day and didn't stop. So I think that the travel part seems glamorous, but it's really hard.
You're not just lounging by the pool.
No, I wish. No.
Okay, and Grace wants to know, given your role in the beauty industry, you must have every skincare product at your fingertips, which I would assume as well. So what do you use? I know you mentioned the Advanced Night Repair from Estee, but...
And I love Renutriv. Renutriv is a wonderful luxury skincare brand within the Estee Lauder brand, and that's where the Aerin beauty line is going to be sitting. So it's a wonderful partnership, and it actually makes complete sense because it is something that I wear every day. I love recreation. I love the way it smells, the feel, the packaging. Renutriv was like it's very special.
Are you very religious about your skincare routine?
That I am. I mean, that is one thing, I never try new things. I use a certain cleanser, a gentle cleanser by Estee Lauder. I use Advanced Night Repair, and I use Renutriv.
Yeah, if it works.
Stick
with it, right?
I definitely, that I agree.
Brian B wants to know, if you weren't doing this, so if you hadn't entered into the family business, what would you be doing?
I probably would be working in a magazine and probably in fashion. Because I love the idea that every month it's new. I love newness. I go very fast at everything, and I think there's something about a magazine that I think is it's very intriguing.
Great. Stacy R wants to know, how did you set out, this is a good question, how did you set out to differentiate Aerin from the Estee Lauder collection?
Well, I wanted Aerin Beauty to work with Estee Lauder. Obviously, it's one brand, it's one point of view, and I think that it's very important that they complement each other. So when you think of Estee Lauder in the sense of color, it's a bit more dramatic. When you're seeing the ads now, they're beautiful dark nails and very dramatic eyes, and this is the perfect balance to that because it's a bit more neutral. Estee Lauder is about Tom Pichot, who's our makeup artist, who I love, who I've been working with for many, many years. And this is very much about beauty secrets from Estee and from my experience within the beauty world. So they really complement each other. And this is very much about edit, and Estee Lauder has a wonderful broad selection. So it really is a wonderful balance.
Speaking of edit, the weekday idea, will that continue, or is that just for fall?
That's just for fall, and then for holiday it's something different, and then spring and summer. We're going to come out with 4 collections a year, based on whether it's fashion trend, lifestyle trend, or it could be anything.
Great. Alex S says, I use primers and highlighters, but my makeup still looks tired by the end of the day. Any tips for keeping it dewy or making it look fresh sort of at the end?
Well, that's where I think a compact foundation plays a great role because you can update it, you can touch up, there's a mirror. It's a great way to kind of keep your makeup looking fresh throughout the day.
Yeah, I guess that's the only secret.
That is really the only secret. And then put a little bit of bronzer because that always gives you kind of like a sun-kissed look.
Great. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.